Remember the strange behavior before someone passed away? That was it. He knew long before that he was going to leave, and he granted me one of the most beautiful and special moments of my life. I spent a whole week crying, unable to sleep or eat. Every time I saw his places and he wasn't there anymore, or every time I will return home and he wasn't there anymore, I just realized that he was not going to return, never again. And I was assimilating that hard situation day by day. And even when writing the script for this video, sometimes I do write scripts because I want to make sure that I'm not missing any detail or any information I really want to communicate in this video. So I was literally crying while typing this script because I had to remember and relive the whole situation again in my mind. And every time I remember that, it's so painful. But the second week I wasn't crying every 5 minutes anymore, just occasionally. Because I wasn't sad. I was angry and frustrated. Angry with the universe, angry with the vet, angry with myself, angry with life. Usually, instead of depression or getting depressive, I get angry and frustrated instead. I know that had to happen someday because we're not immortal, but it was literally the worst possible moment for it to happen. And I also know that there's not such as a perfect moment for someone or for your body to pass away. But I wasn't in a good place living in a good and healthy environment, and my mental health at that moment was also destroyed. So believe it or not, but that creature was everything for me. Of course, I'm so thankful for having my family, my wonderful boyfriend, my best friend Fran, which is like my brother, my real brother, and all that stuff. But I felt a connection that I never felt with any animal before in my whole life. This animal has taught me what unconditional love and wordless communication are. Believe me when I say this, but if I haven't gone to therapy, it's because of this bunny. Because he was my therapy. And probably you won't understand this, but for someone who had an animal by their side, they will totally understand this because this is real. And it can be a child, it can be your animal, whatever, but sometimes you just have a little creature by your side that gives you all the power, all the happiness that you need to keep going. And you don't need therapy. Or at least I didn't had the necessity to go to therapy. He was my company, my mate, every day at home alone when I had to spend a lot of hours on my PC working or whatever. He was always next to me. And no matter if I was having a bad day or I was stressed or arguing with someone, the moment I just hugged him and he licked me with his little and cute tongue, all my troubles will disappear in an instant. That's so real, guys. And I really, really hope you can experience this one day if you never had any animal in your life. And I'm not exaggerating, animals are like a vacuum cleaner for bad energy. And whoever has one will know what I'm talking about. There are no purer creatures than them. It's an experience and a different form of love that I think everyone should be able to experience at least once in life. So yeah, you can imagine how painful and how empty and lonely I felt, and I'm still feeling somehow. It's like the universe or life just removed part of me, part of my soul. So that's one of the main reasons why I stopped creating content until now, both here and on my main YouTube account, which is for my art, my cosplay, my creations, and on Instagram, everywhere, because I've been unable to show myself in front of a camera and, recording, talking without crying, editing and all the stuff. It was so hard for me. Everything felt so heavy and so hard. So I just wasn't in the mood for that. And take a rest whenever you feel that you need to take a rest. That's so important. And even if it's 1 month, 2 months, 5 months, take a break as long as you need, because we run on energy, Energy is everything is energy, and it's like our batteries. So you need to have energy in order to keep going. I was also resuming dropshipping maybe 1 month after that, after Puffy passed away. I didn't have full energy at that moment, but I was like, okay, I will at least do something, because at the same time I felt so guilty for not doing anything and feel that I was wasting time. So I just did more job shipping, but I wasn't actually creating content and that stuff. I wasn't dancing, or I literally stopped everything that made me happy, like kung fu or dancing or cosplay or creating content. I stopped my life because I haven't had the energy at that moment to continue doing anything, and I wasn't in the mood. So I was just like, okay, whatever, I don't care. If I don't feel like doing anything, then I won't do anything. And that's it. Like, I don't care. And not only because what happened to Puffy, that of course was so painful, but on top of that, the universe hasn't let me even take a break after that. It's been nothing but problems, conflicts, bad times, health issues, family problems. So it was too much. I was done with literally everything and anyone. I even considered giving up on content creation, on my ambitions, my goals, everything. Suddenly, nothing made sense for me anymore, and I didn't want anything out of life. Everything felt so unfair and cruel. I was just tired, and I still am. Although I recovered more now, which is why I'm able to make this video right now, by the way. But as I said before, it's also because this is my visual diary and I really want to share this information with you. And in case, someone is going through the same situation, someone have a bunny, maybe this information can save another bunny. Because you know what? The more you talk or write about it, the more you let it out. and the more you let it go somehow, and the more relieved you will feel after that, because keeping it inside is worse later. Life goes on, and even through everything seems very unfair and cruel to me right now, I feel like a victim. Maybe it will all make sense later, I don't know, but it's just what I think. Maybe not. One thing I will say is that I'm finding increasingly difficult to believe in the universe and manifestation stuff right now. It's like if I'm totally removed from the spiritual world and stuff, I don't listen to motivational podcasts anymore. I don't read my spiritual books anymore. I just can't believe anything right now. I'm spiritually destroyed, basically, and that's something that never happened before, because I was always so spiritual, and it took me a long time to get here, you know. When I was a teenager, I was basically an emo, and you know, I didn't want to live anymore and that stuff. So it took me some time to get where I am right now. It was a lot of effort for me mentally to get from an emo girl to a spiritual Buddha girl, you know. I just look at all my books right now that literally changed my life and my mentality and introduced me farther into the spiritual life, and I still find it hard to believe them and read that again. I don't know why, but it just doesn't feel good anymore for me. I don't know, and it's frustrating at the same time, because that was my only way to escape reality and to escape sadness, to escape my bad mood and the victim role. Those books really had helped me a lot, but now not even that works, and it's like nothing works anymore for me, for my motivation and my well-being. So I don't know what to do right now. I'm just, you know, trying to survive and live and keep going, because it seems like nothing is working for me. I just can't understand. I had finally mastered the motivation and the discipline I needed to continue. And after so many failures and problems, anyway, I was ready to start all over again. And suddenly this happens. Like, are you serious? It completely destroys me, and I just stopped everything for months, and that's also frustrating. And now I gotta find the energy and the motivation again. I don't know where is it, but I gotta find it to continue a life that is becoming increasingly difficult for me to follow and to keep going. So honestly, I just want to give up on everything because I'm tired. But at the same time, I don't want to waste my life and regret it after. So there's only one way to keep going. You know, even if you're sad or if you're not in the mood, just keep going. Like, you don't have to be happy or super motivated in order to keep going and do your stuff. You can do your stuff even crying. Seriously, believe me when I tell you this, but sometimes I even did stuff crying. Like I will get to my dance studio crying because I had a lot of problems, and 5 or 10 minutes after that I said, okay, whatever, just stop crying, and I started dancing, and after dancing, I will cry again. But I was doing my stuff, And the other day when I was writing the script for this video, I was also crying, but I was crying and at the same time I was doing my stuff. So you don't need to do stuff happy and motivated. You just need to do the freaking stuff. It doesn't matter if you're crying, if you're sad, if you're angry, if you're frustrated, just do your stuff. I think that's the best advice I can give for someone that is going through the same thing, and it's the best thing you can do, because if not, you will regret it later and you will feel like you have wasted a lot of time and your life doesn't have any sense. I truly can understand that you are feeling sad and you doesn't have any motivation and you don't want to do anything right now, but it's okay to take a break. So just rest as long as you need, but don't rest forever, right? Because that means that you are alive, but your soul died. So take a rest as long as you need, but then go back to your work, your goals, your life, little by little, not, tomorrow. Just keep going and don't give up, because you will regret it later. So tips for bunny owners. Please do not trust 100% your vet. Same with doctors, right? We cannot trust doctors and vets 100%, because how many cases of medical negligence exists every single day, and people have paid for it with their own lives. And I don't want to undervalue the work of vets, and I am not saying that they are doing a bad job or something. I actually value them a lot. And probably if I wasn't born like an artist in this life, I will probably study something related with animals. But you have to know that sometimes it's not all about money or about going to the best vet in your town, because I paid whatever was needed for Puffy, and they know, my vets knew that when it comes to Puffy's health, I don't care spending even the last dollar in my pocket. So it was not about money. They simply haven't done their job properly, and in my opinion have limited themselves to the most basic treatments. Yet I constantly warned them that this creature was getting worse and worse day by day, and that something wrong is happening. And trust me, I will never blame vets for Puffy's death, but I will blame them for not even knowing about it, because as I said before, I'm not vet, and I knew that something was wrong with my bunny even 1 week before his death. So why the heck you didn't even know that if you're the vet and you studied that? Like, at least they could have warned me or let me know that something is not going well, that we should worry about it. It was very basic stuff going on to realize that creature wasn't doing well. And especially if there's a bunny that had surgery because of a bacterial infection, like infection. An infection can be mortal even for us humans, but imagine for a little bunny. And at least they could have notified me or let me know that something is going on, and I don't know, maybe done a scan, a blood test, and everything else necessary, at least to make sure that everything was okay, just for us to know, the whole situation, the real situation. Because let me tell you something else. If you go right now and ask ChatGPT what are the main causes of death in bunnies, the most common reason, the first one I will say, is, guess what? Bacterial abscess. Exactly what Puffy had. ChatGPT, bro. ChatGPT. If you're a vet, you should already know that and have had Puffy under extreme supervision. Not tell me, oh, don't worry, it's okay, nothing to worry about. Like, what the heck? That's why I can't talk about this, because every single time I get so freaking mad. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that if we had taken him to VetCon, for a second opinion at least, he might have survived. Because that vet in Madrid, I would say, is the best in my opinion. They are true specialists in exotic animals and especially rabbits. So I think they really could save him in time, or at least let me know what was going on, at least. So please follow your instinct always, no matter what, because your own body and your own spirit will let you know when something isn't right. So listen to it. You don't need to be a veterinarian, because you, at the end of the day, you are the one that knows your bunny better than anyone else. If you feel that something isn't feeling right, go ask your vet. And if your vet keeps saying that everything is okay, nothing to worry about it, and you still having that feeling, just go and ask for a second opinion to another vet. Worst case scenario, you will end up losing a little bit of money, because the second vet will of course agree that nothing is going on and everything is fine. But what you will rather lose, your money or your bunny? And also pay attention to your dreams always in life in general, because since I had Puffy, I was having a lot of nightmares, and in all of them Puffy passed away literally the same way he actually passed away. And all those nightmares were all about chaos, panic, crying, and it was a Sunday. In all my nightmares, it was always Sunday, and that's why I knew that if Puffy passed away, it will be in a freaking Sunday, because he was literally dying in my arms and I was unable to do anything to save him, because vets were closed and I couldn't call anyone to help me, and I was in that desperate situation in panic, because I couldn't do anything but just see how he's slowly dying in my arms. And that's exactly what happened. So my nightmare became totally true. Most of the times I will wake up crying from those dreams, those nightmares, and right after that I will look for Puffy and I will hug him 24 hours and I will say, oh my god, I'm so happy that it was just a nightmare, and that whenever I will open my eyes, you will stay here next to me. But this time, my own nightmare happened in front of my eyes. And this time, it's a nightmare from which I won't wake up and I have to live with it. Well, I thought it was a nightmare, but actually, it was a prediction of what is going to happen sooner or later. So, I don't know if you have this kind of dreams. Maybe they warn you about what is going to happen, or they just let you know because there's like in games, there are multiple scenarios in life, and maybe if you take the right decision or the wrong decision, then you will follow another scenario. I love to compare my life with the game Detroit, which is my favorite one. I really believe that life is something like that game. So depending of your actions, you will choose one way or another. So I don't know, maybe that kind of dreams are warning us of what is about to happen. So maybe you can save that situation, or maybe this type of dreams are just letting you know what is going to happen because it's an actual prediction. And also critical signs when you know that you gotta take urgently your bunny to the vet. Does not eat or doesn't have any appetite in 24 hours. irregular poops or not poops at all, strange behavior, sneezing, sudden weight loss, of course, tooth overgrowth, etc. etc. Remember that bunnies are prey after all, and they will not show us any signs of weakness until it's too late. So be very, very careful with that. So please take care of your bunny. They are awesome creatures, so kind, so lovely. They will love you until their last moments of life. And they are just little angels, you know. So I am so envious of you all who still having your little angel by your side. I wish I could have mine here next to me right now. But this is life. I really believe that Puffy will hear this message, and Puffy is still appearing in my dreams sometimes, which I'm so grateful for. I know that he will be my angel for real right now, and he will protect me, he will be by my side. So it's not the end. I know that Puffy is still existing, but not in her physical form, just in a more spiritual way, but it's still here, and I will always remember him. So to finish this video, I would love to share some words, some final words for Puffy, and some cool and beautiful memories. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you still here, thank you so much. And if you go through the same situation, you're not alone, and you can leave me a comment or whatever. I will answer you. And so I promise to retake content creation. I'm better now, so I promise to upload more videos weekly about weekly updates about my life, my career, how's everything going. So stay here with me, and I love you so much. I wish you the best. Bye-bye. Sometimes I wonder if all this pain was worth it in exchange for having met you in this lifetime, and the answer will be always yes. Animals are intelligent and understand you much better than you think. 1 or 2 weeks before Puffy passed away, I was sleeping in the morning and he just jumped onto my bed and sat between my arm and my face. He converted into a bunny loaf and stayed there with me for about an hour or two. And I will wake up from time to time and see his little face so close to mine, and I will die of love. Every time I woke up, I said, "I love you" to him, and he will lick my face or nose every single time for an hour or two. And you know, he didn't leave me for a moment, and that's something he's never done before. Remember the strange behavior before someone passed away? That was it. He knew long before that he was going to leave, and he granted me one of the most beautiful and special moments of my life. So first, I want to thank you for that magical and beautiful last moment together. I will remember that all my life. Thank you for being my soulmate, and I'm so happy we've met in this lifetime, even if it was only for 4 short years. You know, I always thought you have lived at least 10 years and that you have gotten to know my children too, but nature is capricious like that. As ironic as it may be for humans, you are the first creature in the whole world, besides my mother of course, to teach me what unconditional love means. And I still truly believe that thanks to you for, bringing me to that state of love, I was able to manifest such a wonderful person as my boyfriend. Because you attract what you are, not what you want, and I was loved thanks to you. You have also taught me how well two souls can understand each other without even having to speak the same language. You have taught me the universal language. I never had nightmares while you were there with me, just like when I was sick and you always stayed by my side, taking care of me. I loved how we just shared life together. We took naps together, we will eat together or even watch Netflix together. While I was working, you were always there next to me in your bunny loafer. Your only presence was just enough for me to keep going. Coming home and knowing that you are there, waiting for your food and your treats, that was my daily happiness. Thank you for showing me what honest happiness and love looks like. You're so cute that no matter how many mischiefs you did or how you messed around, I was unable to stay angry with you for more than 10 minutes, and you knew that. That's why you always had that victim face. Thank you for making me so happy and for sharing such wonderful moments with me every day by your side. I have no words to express how much I will miss you. Unfortunately, your life is much shorter than human beings. I will love you forever. I hope we meet again in another life and that you will continue to visit me in my dreams from time to time. You are the closest thing to a son I've ever had. Every time I look at the moon or the sky, I can see you. I hope you're doing bunny blinkies on clothes and that you're happy whenever you are. Just remember not to lick that lemon again and don't eat too many strawberries and carrots. You'll be forever in our memories, Puffy. So now rest in peace, my little angel.